Okay, so we are going to go back to the Asma and Sifat per Wahhabi ideology. So, on the one hand, that the Wahhabis consider Shia as mushrik, and which reason they outline? Reason is istighatha. That is the reason that Shias believe in istighatha. But they do not bring up the other issue, which is Asma and Sifat, because that would be very, very embarrassing for them. Uh, and also, they are silent with regard to Ash'aris Maturidis in our time in the public because they want to focus on the Shia. On the other hand, uh, the Ash'aris and Maturidis historically, but not now, at the moment, because Wahhabis are very rich, very wealthy, and their donations and their zakah matters to the ulama and the scholars and the seminaries of the Ash'aris and Maturidis. However, historically, they have been very, very deriding. They have been very dismissive of the Wahhabis, of the Salafis. They've always considered them to be mujassima, mushrik. Let me show you some of those assertions. This is the book Al-Jami' li'ulumi Ahmad ibn Hanbal, volume number 3, published by Darul Falah. At the year 2009. Okay. Page number 24. The author of this book says the following: وَقَدْ أَحْدَثَ أَهْلُ الْأَهْوَاءِ وَالْبِدَعِ أسماء شنيعة قبيحة فسموا بها أهل السنة. He's saying Ahl Sunnah is who? Ahl Sunnah is, of course, this is a Wahhabi book, so Ahl Sunnah is exclusively Wahhabis. and well, Ahlul Ahwa wal Bid'ah, people of deviation and people of heresy, they are Ash'aris, Maturidis, and Shias, but over here they're talking only about Ash'aris. He's saying that these Ash'aris, they have invented names. And they've used these names to refer to these evil names, these bad names, these pejorative names, to refer to Wahhabis, to Ahl Sunnah, to the Salafis. يريدون بذلك عيبهم والطعن عليهم. They use these names to refer to Wahhabis, to Salafis, in order to denigrate them, in order to belittle them. والوقيعة فيهم, in order to speak ill of them. والازدراء بهم عند السفهاء والجهال, and to denigrate them in front of simple people and stupid people and ignorant people. This is إبطال التأويلات لأخبار الصفات, تأليف أبي يعلى الفراء. Abu Ya'la al-Farra is very famous muhaddith of the Umaris, of the Ahl al-Hadith. He died at year 458. This book has been published in 2013 in Kuwait. In the muqaddimah of this book, he says, وسموا أهل السنة والجماعة الذين وصفوا الله تعالى بما وصف به نفسه وبما وصف به رسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. He says that Asha'ira have described Ahl Sunnah. Asha'ira, which are the majority of Ahl Sunnah, which is the majority of the Umaris, they have described the Salafis because Salafis have described Allah with those attributes that Allah Himself has described Himself with those attributes, and because Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam has described Allah with those attributes. So Asha'ira have described, because of this reason, that Wahhabis and Salafis believe in the deity attributes that Allah and Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam have described Allah with these attributes. For this reason, سموهم مجسمة. مجسمة. They have named them as mujassima. So what I'm trying to prove to you is that from ancient times, this book was written at 400. The author died at 458, so the book was written before that. That Salafis were named by Asha'ira as mujassima, and if they were named as mujassima by Ash'aris, because Ash'aris were the majority, you could easily infer that that was the name that they were identified with. That was a name by majority, all Muslims, because Maturidis are obviously followers of Ash'aris, and Shias wouldn't have any problem at all calling Salafis as Mujassima. And what does Mujassima mean? Mujassima means to consider that the deity, that Allah is a physique, he is physical. Hashawiyya. What does Hashawiyya mean? Hashawiyya means to fill something that's empty, like a sack that's empty, you fill it up. So they used to call the Ahl al-Hadith, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmidhi, Nisa'i, and their students and their followers, this whole school of Muhaddithin, they were called by Asha'ira, and they were called by Mujtahideen, by followers of Abu Hanifa, followers of Malik, followers of Shafi'i. What were they called? They were called Hashawiyya. Hashawiyya means somebody who fills something that's empty. But what does it mean? They used to say that these people fill their books of hadith with any stupid hadith. With anything. Anything they get their hands on, they put it in their books. قال Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and then they invent a sahih sanad for that, and then it becomes part of their deen, no matter how stupid, how wrong that hadith may be. ولا يضر أهل السنة تسمية أهل البدع لهم بما ينفر الناس عنهم. And then he says, oh, it's not a problem for us. They call us Hashawiyya or Mujassima. This book is وسطية أهل السنة بين الفرق، تأليف الدكتور محمد با كريم محمد با عبد الله، الأستاذ المساعد بكلية الدعوة وأصول الدين بالجامعة الإسلامية بالمدينة النبوية صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. Dr. Muhammad Ba Karim, a professor of hadith and professor of hadith and aqidah in the College of Da'wah in Usul al-Din in the Islamic University in Medina. That wasatiyatu ahl sunnah bayn al-firaq, that he says the correct path, the middle path between all different sects is the Wahhabi sect, is the Salafi sect. That's what the title of this book means. So he compares Wahhabis and Salafis to all other sects and tries to prove that they are the middle one, they are in the middle ground, they're never the extremists, and they are on the right path that has been prescribed by Allah and Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. At page number 126, ألقاب أهل السنة عند خصومهم من أهل الأهواء والبدع. The names that Salafis are known by those who are opposed to the Salafis. Okay. تقدم لنا في أول هذا المبحث أن خصوم أهل السنة نادرا ما يذكرونهم باسم أهل السنة. He says we have mentioned time and again that those who are opposed to the Wahhabi denomination, those who are opposed to the school of Ibn Taymiyyah, they rarely, if ever, they describe Salafis as Ahl Sunnah. They do not. The other sects do not believe that we are Ahl Sunnah. So that's his complaint. أو أهل الحديث, and they even do not consider us worthy of this name, to be followers of hadith. No. أو غير ذلك من الأسماء المرضية عند أهل السنة, or other good names that we would like us to be identified by these names amongst Ahl Sunnah, that amongst the Muslims, to be named by these names that we prefer, that we would like to be called Ahl Sunnah, to be called Ahlul Hadith. They do not. Other Muslims, especially Ash'ari, the majority of the Umaris, they do not use these appellations, the Islamic culture for us. وأنهم درجوا على الإشارة إليهم في كتبهم وأقوالهم بألقاب وأسماء ابتدعوها من عند أنفسهم. He says that they always refer to us in their books and in their writings. They refer to us with titles and names that they have invented for us. So what's the complaint? They complain that they do not consider us Ahl Sunnah or Ahl al-Hadith. So what do they consider us? Page number 120, following page. إنما تذكر مذهب أهل السنة وأهل الحديث وتقول قال الحشوية قال المشبهة قال المجسمة أو الناصبة ولا يريدون بهم إلا أهل السنة والحديث. When they call us other Muslims, they refer to us, they call us Hashawiyya. What does Hashawiyya mean? They fill their books with stupid ahadith, with wrong ahadith, with false ahadith, and then they invent sahih sanad for them. They call us mushabbiha. What does mushabbiha mean? That you consider Allah like people, that you portray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like an animal. Awil mujassima, they call us mujassima, that these people, they consider us mujassima because they believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has physique. Awil nasiba, or they call us nasiba. وَلَا يُرِيدُونَ بِهِمْ إِلَّا أَهْلَ السُنَّةِ وَالْحَدِيثِ. And these names refer only to us, to the Salafis, to the Wahhabis, to the followers of Ibn Taymiyyah, who the author says are the Ahl Sunnah, and the other sects are not Ahl Sunnah. Okay, so brothers and sisters, may Allah bless you all. Now, so far, what did we study? We studied that it's not something new that Salafis and Wahhabis have been referred to as mushabbaha, as mujassima, as people who believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is an animal, he has a body, he has a physique, and he needs time, and he needs space, he needs many, many things. So it's not something new. Historically, scholars have always, from Umari denomination, they have always considered them as such. But why do the Wahhabis believe in these attributes for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The reason for that is because Wahhabis, they do not believe in aql. Wahhabis, Ahl al-Hadith, followers of Ahmad ibn Hanbal in Bukhari and Muslim, do you know that they do not have a single hadith extolling the worth of aql, in the praise of aql? There's not a single hadith in their books. So they have nothing to do with reason, with aql, with rationality. On the other hand, they always mock reason, mock aql and intelligence and common sense. And what they follow are these hadith, which are very, very funny and which are very, very sacrilegious to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And some of which I presented to you in the last discussion. And inshallah, if you allow me in the second, inshallah, in the third speech, which probably will be tomorrow night, I'll present to you more ahadith from their books regarding the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So please forgive me if I did not speak in detail and if I didn't give a detailed lecture tonight. But I think that's enough. That's a good introduction now. Now I'll give you more ahadith in the coming nights, inshallah.